Hi. When I tried to save money in the past, random wins or saving a little bit here and there didn't move the needle much. What made a big difference to me are some simple rules that completely transformed how I manage my money, my mindset around life, spending, and everything else. These are 7 rules that completely changed my life and also helped me save money. They're super simple and super easy to master as long as you apply them. Number 1, be proactive. I know that it sounds simple, but the power really is in your hands for literally everything. Your life is up to you. Well, for the most part, you still have to pay taxes, and that's really you don't really have a say in that at all. But it's pretty simple. Just look at your life and look at what you're doing. Are you going out too much? Are you spending a ton of money on coffee? Are you having all these extreme, extravagant vacations? I used to spend a ton of money on traveling. Now I figured out how to travel more, but I travel at about 1/4 of the price that I used to, and I have more videos on that as well. Also, I'm not always staying in hostels, and if I am, I do make sure I have my own room. What I did was I figured out what it was that was like eating away a ton of my money, which was the traveling, and I fixed it. I was like, okay, well, my accommodations could be cheaper. If I credit card hack, I can essentially get the flight for free. But the first step is kind of knowing what it is. The idea here is to cut down everything you're willing to cut down and only spend money when it's something important or it's something that you really, really want. In this category, I do have some rules for myself. In terms of takeout and just randomly going out to eat, I'm only allowed to go when I'm with another person. Also, I refuse to have a delivery driver. I'm my own delivery driver. I also try to go out and eat for only specific reasons. Steps to take here is make a budget and figure out what you actually spent the week before, the month before. Be honest with yourself. Figure out your pitfalls, and then find a way to either eliminate them or make them super, super cheap, like dirt cheap. Own less. This one's pretty simple. Sell your stuff because you don't need it. If it's not useful or something that's super nostalgic, just throw it away. I sold video games, artwork, furniture, all these things on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and I don't miss a thing. Also, since I sold a lot of things, I found other things that were kind of like deeper inside like other crevices. For example, I'm now reading a book that I just found in like the back of my bookshelf called Running Man. It's a Stephen King book, but it goes by his pseudonym, Richard Bachman. And it's a really, really good book. When people give me things, I don't feel bad about selling them or giving them away, because again, if it's not useful or it's not nostalgic, I don't need it. I then took the money that I gained from selling my stuff. I saved some of it, and some of it got put into the camera I'm filming on right now. I also put some towards my tattoo fund and my vacation fund, so that's really cool too. But the best part for me is that the less clutter that I have, the less I have to clean. I hate cleaning. I'm my own housekeeper and I don't hire anyone else out, and I wouldn't anyway. It's super simple. So less stuff equals less space that you need, which also equals less cleaning. First, it was hard to get rid of some things where you're like, oh, maybe I might need to use it. I have sold things that I needed to use and I just ended up either getting them again or using something else in its place. It's been about 3 years since I started this process, and I still continuously find things that I can either sell, I can donate, or just plain throw out that no one's gonna want anyway. Buy nothing unless it's a hell yes. I used to see something that I thought I would need to make me happy, whether it was a cute mug, an extra bathing suit, sports equipment that I'll never ever use. And I'm an athlete, I work out all the time. I don't need every single equipment that's ever been around. And I would justify each purchase by saying to myself, I'll use it. For example, the sports equipment, I would be like, oh yeah, okay, well this is me now. Now I use an ab roller, I'm gonna be using that every day. And if you're not doing that every day anyway, you're probably not gonna use it. This mug was actually a gift that I do love and I use it every day, but don't have many of them. Again, I don't like to clean and I choose to live in a small space and really like my home clutter-free. It's become like a game when I run out of something like a candle or I ran out of gym t-shirts. I try to find something that I already have to use in its place. So I ran out of candles and I was like, oh wow, I have incense. I use incense instead of the candles. I ran out of gym t-shirts and then I'm like, okay, well I still have regular t-shirts. I'll just use those to work out with. I realized I ended up saving at an alarming rate. Like 10 times what I was saving beforehand. Now I choose to spend my money on a lot of vacations or just other types of different experiences. I spent a little bit on beauty and occasionally fashion, but I did say that I wouldn't buy any more clothes this year unless it is for work. And I've been good with that. Essentially what happens is when I decide on making a purchase, I try to purchase things that matter to me and make me happy or make someone I know happy rather than something frivolous. It's easier said than done, but you kind of just have to catch yourself and be like, oh wait, do I actually need this? Am I actually going to use this? And most of the time it's a no. Don't sweat it. You can't make everyone happy. I used to be a people pleaser. Well, not really. Only when it came to my clients or my boss is really when I would be a people pleaser. And then I realized people may not like me for whatever reason. Maybe they don't like me because of my humor, my accent, my bleached blonde hair. I don't know. Who cares? I'm great. So are you. The way I look at it is if someone doesn't want to get to know me professionally or personally, I'd really rather not deal with them either. Especially if it's a client that'll just be a nightmare to deal with. Like, I'd rather go through life with people who like me, accept me, and approve of me, rather than someone who just doesn't like me for whatever reason. And it's all good. Do you like every single person you meet? Probably not. Think of yourself as important. This is the one that gets me going throughout the day. And it's essentially just to think of yourself as important. I used to have a hard time and still sometimes have a hard time dealing with rejection, especially as a business owner. I literally get rejected every single day. I'm also a huge fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know what you're thinking. What do those two things have in common?
No shit.
Well, seeing yourself as an important person is one of the things that Arnold explicitly teaches in his book, Total Recall, and his other book called How to Be Useful. I may do a book review on those two because I really want an excuse to read those again. So because one of the people I know and admire so much does this, I mean, this man can do anything. He won the bodybuilding contest, Mr. Universe, like 3 or 4 times. He's a really fun actor. He was the governor of California. This guy gets stuff done. Now, every time I procrastinate something, such as budgeting or pushing an extra side hustle or even working out, or sometimes I just even don't feel like being an adult. Like, I feel like playing video games for hours a day, which I don't do that. I just think of myself as important, where I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. I have things to do because I'm an important person and I need to do important things. Let other people play video games for their entire life. I'm going places and I have stuff to do. It's a weird switch in my mind that flips and then I'm like, oh no, like, be important. Not only that, it makes me feel way better about myself and actually get stuff done. Think win-win. Don't look at money as if it's a competition. Whether you're sharing resources, splitting costs, or growing together, try to seek outcomes within your circle or your job where everyone benefits. And don't be upset if someone has a shinier car than you. I used to feel upset or even inadequate when I saw someone drive a BMW, a Mercedes, or a Rolls Royce, or whatever type of car. And then I realized most people who are driving these luxury cars actually can't afford it. According to Financial Samurai, the number one car buying rule to follow is the 1/10 rule. The rule states you should spend no more than 1/10 of your salary per year on your car. So if your household brings in $75,000 a year, let's say, you should spend no more than $7,500 on your car. But the issue with that is that today, the average price of a car is around $50,000, which is more than 6 times the amount. That kind of spending can seriously strain your budget. Luxury cars are generally priced at $70,000 to $200,000 a year, depending on what add-ons you get. So according to this rule, you would have to make $770,000 to $2 million a year. That's a crazy amount of money. In fact, most of these people who buy the luxury cars are financing long-term, stretching their budget, or leasing for the image. So instead of feeling behind, don't worry about it. And realistically, only a small fraction of people, those earning the 6 to 7 figure range, can truly afford luxury cars, which brings me back to this entire point. If the person you're talking to is within the 10% of people in this space who can afford this, that likely means they're doing something very right. Which brings me back to the win-win. I'm now happy for those people and ask them questions on how they're able to afford it. You never know. I could learn something valuable, and I have. What do they do for a living? Do they have several businesses? Do they have passive income? Do they have active income? When did they start? Things like that can be important and helpful for you in your life. Build mutually beneficial relationships. I like to cultivate an abundance mindset rather than a competitive or zero-sum approach. I used to think that I had to be the best at everything, especially in things like work. One time in beauty school, we had to complete a few manicures in order for us to graduate and be able to take the state board exam to get our license. So I did a manicure. Again, I was really going for hair, but I had to learn how to do manicures as well. So I did a manicure on this a very older woman. She had to be like 85 or something like that. She was super sweet. But I did a manicure on her. It took 2 hours. And for those of you who don't know, manicures generally take, 15 minutes to 30 minutes at most. It was a regular manicure, nothing fancy. And you might have thought that after the 2 hours, it looked fabulous. Well, it didn't. It looked absolutely horrendous. There was like nail polish all over her nail. It was just all over the cuticle. It looked absolutely terrible. But it did teach me something valuable. I realized that everyone isn't meant to be good at everything. I'm not a great nail tech, and that's okay. I'm sick at cutting hair. I'm sick at styling hair. I'm really good at keratins, and that's what I genuinely love to do anyway. And now instead of competing with others and offering manicures that I'll be terrible at, I refer my clients to other people, and then they'll refer people to me, and we all succeed together. There's no shortage of opportunity when you recognize your strengths and collaborate with others. Life isn't always a competition. It's a chance to grow, share, and thrive together. There's more than enough resources and money and opportunities for everyone. If there's something that you're doing that you're not so good at, like me with the nails, you're likely good at another thing. Everyone's good at something. Swap these things with a friend, a coworker. For example, what if you're really good at PowerPoints, but you're terrible with Microsoft Excel? Swap priorities with a friend. Own nothing, buy nothing. Be proactive, own less, buy nothing, unless it's a hell yes. Don't sweat it. You can't make everyone happy. Think of yourself as important, and think win-win. Do you have any life-changing money rules yourself? Comment them below. I'd love to hear. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. Also, check out some of my related videos, and I'll see you in the next one.